Well, I guess just first and foremost, let's get the update on the injury, the recovery, how he is right now as far as his health is concerned.
I'm feel good. The injury is much better right now. I can start training, but not started yet because not started really training for this fight. But I don't have any concern about this right now.
We haven't had the opportunity to see him in a couple months, so not to bring up old news, but the whole process, the whole frustration and miscommunication, how did he feel as that was all unfolding where people really weren't sure what the injury was, what the status was? How did he feel during that process?
About the injuries, I'm very sad about that. About the miscommunication, I understand because sometimes I say something to the journalist in Brazil, and the moment the guys translation that, my interview is almost totally wrong, but I understand.
So it's safe to say that the relationship with the UFC and everything is good at this point?
About my part, everything is fine, always. And then I don't care about what the guys said. From my side, it's going to be inside the cage and do what I need to do.
Can you tell us how he watched the Conor McGregor and Chad Mendes fight? Did he watch it live? Did he watch it by himself? Did he have people around him? You know, how did he watch the fight, and what did he think about it as he was watching it?
No, I not see the fight. I don't want to see Conor fighting with anybody. But a lot of friends call me and talk to me. Oh, you're gonna kill this guy for sure.
That seems weird. I mean, does he normally watch people fight, or why would he make the decision not to watch? I would think you would want to watch and kind of break him down a little bit.
I don't see anybody, any opponents before the fight, because I have a good team to analyze these guys, and then after that the guys send to us, and I analyze with my coach and everything. It doesn't matter what he do or not.
Wouldn't you want to know right away if Conor won, though? Because, I mean, it's a huge fight. If Chad were to beat him, then you lose that fight. Wouldn't you want to watch just to see it live and know that Conor won or not?
Like I say, I don't care about him, and I don't care about what he's doing. But I know if Chad is training hard for this fight, the results will be totally different.
Will you train differently going into this fight, knowing what happened in the last fight when you got injured? Will there be a different approach, maybe as the fight approaches? Will you train a little differently or take a few more precautions so that something like that doesn't happen again?
I do exactly what I do always. I train exactly the same. The only thing is different. Lorenzo giving me a like t-shirt to protect the hips. That I use, nothing different than that.
What did you do instead of watching the fight that night when Conor McGregor fought Chad Mendes? Did he go out with friends? Did he sit on the
He go to the friend's house to see a game, the soccer game.
You watched the soccer game.
Yeah.
You know, when John asked how's your relationship with the UFC, a lot of people, you know, they take that as meaning how's your relationship with Dana White. It was Dana White who took a lot of the criticism. You know, people thought that he disrespected Jose, and can Jose just clarify, did he ever feel disrespected by anything Dana White said or did?
I have a dinner with Dana in Brazil, and the both sides talk a lot about this thing, and then he said Dana don't disrespect him, just a misunderstanding about the communications is the problem in this situation right now. I don't have any problem with Dana or Lorenzo or UFC.
And when was that dinner? When did the dinner take place?
No. One day before the UFC Rio, Honda vs. that.
Since he didn't watch the fight, was he surprised when he heard Conor won?
I know before this fight happened, I know Conors won because Chad don't have a time to train hard. He received the notice like 18 days before the fight. He need to cut the weight, not training hard. And I know he's hunting, not training at all at the gym. I know everything's happened, and I know before the fight, for sure, Conor won the fight.
I know he didn't watch that fight, but has he watched any of Conor's fights at all? Because Conor has such unique movements, you know, the unique style. He's so different than a lot of people. Has he watched any of his tape at all, just to study the way that Conor moves?
Yeah. We watched all the tapes from him together, and I analyze everything about him. I know he's a danger guy, but not to beat Aldo for sure.
So you will eventually watch the Mendez-Conor fight?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. The next time, right now, I for sure analyze that.
Can you help? Maybe it's a communication thing as well. To get him to clarify comments on the IV ban that's coming up. We've seen comments coming out of Brazil that he's saying, I don't care, I'm still going to do it. Obviously, there's very stiff penalties if that's the case. Is that a miscommunication as well, or does he stand behind that?
It's just make a joke in the meeting, and then smile all the time about that. It's just everybody knows if you have a rules, you need to see the rules and do exactly what you need to do.
So he was really just making a joke, and the reporters reported as he was being serious?
Yeah, for sure. But Giovanni Decker is a director president from Brazil. He stayed in the meeting and saw everything. He knows it's just a joking from him.
Has he used IVs for every fight, or is it sometimes?
Sometimes he uses, sometimes not. He's not cut a lot of weight. His normal weight is like 162. If we put him right now in the scale, it's 162.
Manny Pacquiao went into that fight with Mayweather with that injury. Were you close to actually following through with the fight despite the injury, or was it no matter what, he's not going to fight, you're not going to fight, or was there like some conversation like, maybe I could do it, maybe I should? I mean, how close was that to Jose actually going into the ring?
He tried a lot to fight. He go to PRP and try make like a De Niro like that inside the ribs and put his blood inside the bone to try fix it to that. He tried. He really tried to fight. He want to fight. I have all the move here. He tried everything.
Yep. You had the what?
I have the tape in the hospital, the neuro, everything here to try to fight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jose, how bothered were you that Conor basically made your injury up to be just a bruise, basically? I mean, he acted like it wasn't anything that you should get in the ring, and despite that, you know, because we didn't know how serious it was, and he obviously didn't either. But how bothered were you by all that?
I don't care about what the Conor said. For me, it's just a joker, and then, but I have a lot of pain. I'm still like a baby in my bed because I can move too much. Always I need help from my wife and my friends to move my body, and I don't care about Conor.
Going back to the IV ban again, is he going to struggle not being able to use it, trying to make weight?
What do you mean struggle?
Is it going to be hard for him to make weight without IV?
I give my opinion. I think it's much more harder for Conor make the weight and not have IV for him than for Aldo. Aldo just cut like 15 pounds. How much Conor cut the weight? For sure it's terrible for him and not terrible for Aldo. I prefer put the both guys after the weigh-in. You have a camera for 24 hours before the fight and see everything what both is doing before the fight. I know him not put IV, for sure, because don't need that. But I don't know Conor. How many pounds he make the weight back without IV? He probably cut like 30 pounds, and Aldo just 15. Who do you think need more IV, Aldo or Conor?
When is the last time he did not use an IV after a weigh-in?
Like 3 years ago. It started like 2.5, 3 years ago. Because it's easy to do, you put the IV in.
Who does it? Do you do it for him?
No. I have almost always, I bring a doctor to put the IV here.
And he's used it for every fight in the past 2.5, 3 years?
Can you repeat?
You said he started about 3 years ago?
2.5, 3 years ago.
And has he done it for every single fight in those 3 years?
Yeah.
The ban is for 50 milliliters. How much do you use when you rehydrate, guys?
1.5, like 1,500 milligrams.
1,500. Okay, so a lot.
Like three bags, like 500 milligrams. I think everybody do the same. I think so. 1,000, 1,000.5.
He said that he wasn't surprised that Conor beat Chad. Were you, Day?
No, for sure, because I know, like, if you analyze Chad Mendes from young to now, you see in his body, he trained a lot of physical preparation all his life to beat all the guys in wrestling and MMA, because wrestling, like wrestlers like Chad Mendes, he need to be very prepared in his physical to beat the other guys. If not, he lose for sure. And if you give it to the guy like that, just 18 days to prepare his body, it's impossible. The guy is not training for 3 months. You give it to him 18 days. His mind is lost before the fight, because in his mind, I'm not training hard. I'm not to do any physical preparation for this fight. He's lost before this fight. Before to go inside the octagon, his mind is dying, man. Because for sure, he can be prepared for this fight. But if you give it to him 3 months to prepare, I put all my money and Chad Mendes, for sure.
I haven't heard what the UFC's plan is for promoting this fight, but if they want to do another big world tour and all those stops and all that time, is Jose willing to do that again, or would he prefer a little bit different this time?
No way. Yeah. No way. 10 days outside from his house is terrible, for sure. For sure. He wants to do a commercial, but not stay for 10 days, fly for everywhere to do this thing again, for sure. But if he needs to do, he's doing. But if you prefer, no, prefer stay in his out, for sure.
Was that the worst thing you've ever had to do in this sport? Was that world tour?
You're eating bad, sleeping bad, every day is sleeping in one city and wake up in another city. It's so bad, for
Was there
sure.
anything fun about it at all? Anything
Nada.
at all you enjoyed?
Nada que você tivesse gostado.
Ah, eu acho que
I love the fans, for sure. And then I saw the soccer game, Brazil versus Chile, at that time. That's it. He loves football. He loves football. Yesterday, I go to two with him, and I make some positions, some drills, and like in 40 minutes, it start to be a soccer inside the mat and finish the training. That's it.
What's it like in Brazil? Is it just like non-stop, every day, a million people coming up to you and say, you have to beat Conor? We have to see you beat this guy? I mean, is it unlike any other fight in your career in that way?
porra, isso
Not only in Brazil, here too. Every fun I saw him say to me, you need to kill this guy, man. This guy have a big mouth. You want to kill this guy? Please.
Ever been anything even close to that?
Like close, like when he fought with Ryan Faber. Many guys talk to me, hey, you need to punch his guy because he have a face like a playboy. But this guy doesn't know Ryan is such a nice guy. He's a really nice guy. Really nice guy.
Mas my man is good guy, no.
And his mentally, Ryan is a good guy.
What was the score of the soccer game that you watched when Conor fought Chad? I have a hard time believing you didn't watch that fight.
Porra, tava no quintal comendo churrasco.
He's a game from Flamengo, his team, and then he eating a churrasco, a barbecue outside his friend's house.
There was some talk of this fight, perhaps being in Dallas, whatever. Just, I guess, Jose, just some thoughts on this fight back in Vegas in December. Just, having it back here.
I'm very happy to fight here. When I was a kid, I saw a lot of big boxing fights, and always in Vegas. And then in his mind, one day I'll be a fighter, and I will fight in Vegas for sure.
We know Conor talks a lot, but is Conor good for the sport?
I don't know if Conor is good for the sport, but for me, for sure, yes. And then I wanna see more Conors come to my weight class to fight with me like him. Talk too much because he put a lot of money in my pocket, for sure.
What's Jose's take on emotions in a fight? We hear some fighters say that, you know, when they hate a guy or they don't like a guy, it motivates them to train harder, to fight harder. Then we hear other fighters say you can't have emotion on fight night because you have to think, you have to be technical. What's his take on that?
I don't bring any emotion to inside the octagon, and not my training too. I know we have a lot of guys coming to the street. You need to beat this guy badly, but I never put these things in my mind. I just train hard, and I think my day is coming. And the day I go inside the ring, I stay calm and finish this guy for sure.
Is there a perfect scenario for him and how the fight plays out? Is it, you know, a brutal knockout? Is it get the job done quick and go home? Is it make it last so the guy learns a lesson? What's the perfect scenario for Jose?
The best scenario for me is the victory. Doesn't matter if I beat this guy by KO, or submission, or by points. Doesn't matter to me. I just go inside that and beat this guy for sure.
Lógico, se acabar a luta o quanto antes eu vou embora para casa.
But for sure, if you beat this guy fast, I go home.
I mean, you understand how this sport works really well. Do you think that it's inevitable you guys will probably fight twice, or you think it's one fight and then you beat him so bad and he comes back?
I prefer happen more times because they put more money in my pocket for sure. I'm going inside the ring, I beat this guy. If it happen again, it's good because I saw this thing happen with Son and Anderson. If it happen again with me, it's good for sure. You just think about the money for sure.
Does he see Conor as any threat at all? I mean, obviously he's always been respectful of his opponents, but does he see Conor as any threat at all, or does he feel very confident that it's not even a fight?
I always respect all my opponents, and with Conor is not different. And I train hard for the fight. I be concentrated. I'm just focused on my opponent. Go inside the ring and finish this guy. But always respect everybody.
What's your final message then to Conor McGregor? What would be your final message to him?
Eu vou vencer.
I'm still champion for sure.